So DashMD provides patients with the tools and resources that they need to successfully traverse the road to recovery after being discharged from the emergency department.
You have an interesting backstory as far as how you came up with this idea, so talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. So I was actually a patient a couple of years ago. I was admitted to the emergency department after breaking my leg. And I was provided with all this information when I was being discharged that I wasn't really able to internalize. So we thought to ourselves as a team, if we could build something that patients can use easily, that'll help them track the recovery, we'll be able to improve the quality of care that those patients are receiving and hopefully help some people.
What are some of the risks today if you are not doing a great job after you leave the hospital?
Well, aside from not really taking care of yourself, that can result in an unnecessary readmission to the hospital, which clogs up the healthcare system, and it also makes you as a patient take time out of your day, and that's really not good for anybody.
What is the process like without technology like yours?
So without technology like ours, the patient is basically a passive recipient. They get information at the point of discharge, either verbal instructions or paper-based handouts that really aren't in a digestible fashion. And it's really on the patient to take care of themselves and use that information as they deem fit. Whereas with what we're doing, we're providing the patient with everything in a very concise, digestible format so they can easily manage their care.
And what has been the response from people who have used this before?
It's great. We've been doing a bunch of user testing and people love it. We have some hospital partners and we'll be piloting in their emergency departments later this year.
How do you get patients to embrace this technology and to take it upon themselves to use this and show them that it's important?
So at the point of discharge, the patient's actually given a card with download instructions, and the nurse instructs the patient as to the benefits and how to use the app itself. So the idea is that once the patient is discharged, they'll download the app, they'll explore it, and they'll see the benefits themselves. It'll be readily obvious to them.
Now, as far as some of the statistics about people who are admitted into the hospital who also use smartphones, do you have any stats around that? How many people you can help?
Yes, we do. So surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, depending on your perspective, a vast majority of Canadians use smartphones. I believe the statistic is around 68% at the moment, and that number is rising every single year. And that's across all age brackets from very young to actually surprisingly quite old. So our target user base is quite large.
How do you plan to grow your business? You're relatively new right now.
We are. So after we pilot in our different emergency department pilot partners, we'll be expanding into other hospitals in Canada, specifically in the GTA. And then we'd also like to partner with community care clinics. So these are third-party providers like physiotherapists, community clinics. So those are outside of the hospital. So there's a lot of applicability for this in a variety of care settings in healthcare.
And what has been the reactions from some of the doctors who have looked at this?
They absolutely love it. They think that this is truthfully the future of healthcare. They're still very paper-based in terms of how they provide patients with instructions. So this is completely revolutionizing the way that they provide care to their patients. So they're very, very excited about this, as are we.